Hello and welcome to today's video. This is my daily driver. It's a 2002 Proton Saga 12 valve with a single cam, powered by a 4G13 carbureted engine paired with a 5-speed manual, and it is slow. I'm telling you, slow as shit. Every time when I try to overtake people or something like that, you know, it's just nah, this thing will not move at all. Like no matter what, how much I tried, it will just not move. And this thing leaks a ton of oil too. The oil pan, it is really wet, really soaked, like really wet. And yeah, just a little maintenance here and there. Hopefully adjusting the valves, change the oil, you know, with something good, 10W40. Hopefully it should bring up the performance a bit, you know. Hopefully it's more responsive enough. And yeah, with that said, let's begin. I'm on a time crunch right now, so here we go. And here are the parts that I'll be replacing for this car. We got brand new brakes, brake pad over there, 10W40 oil, oil pan gasket to fix the leak. It is leaking. Drive shaft boot, because the drive shaft boot is torn on the driver's side, outer side. And what else? Brand new oil, oil filter, air filter, fuel filter. We got sway bar end link bushings, also known as satay. That over there, I'll show you guys in a bit. And some brand new lights, because nighttime I can't see anything at all. Literally, it is really dark, not safe to drive. And brake fluid to flush out the fluid and stuff, because on the old one it is really dark, like kopi o, you know, black coffee dark. Okay, before we even do anything yet, first thing first, I want to clean this engine. It is absolutely nasty in here. It's all greasy, you know, all full of road dust and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, gotta clean it, and then we'll start working on it. Trying to brush off those hard to reach places, you know, that way I can see which part is actually leaking and which part is not. That way, you know, it's more easier for me to diagnose the problem, you know, which exact problem is it. I'll just do my best to just clean up everything, you know, even though I'm in a time crunch at the moment. So yeah, just a simple degreaser and a little bit of brush. Try my best to clean it off, and we should be good. Don't need to get it clean, you know, I mean, this whole thing is gonna get dirty anyways. You know, just something good enough. I'm telling you, man, this thing is absolutely nasty, dude. Full of oil, full of shit. Okay, before I even go ahead and dump out the oil, first thing first I want to change is the fuel filter right there, if you can see right over there. Now, one thing I know for sure is that it hasn't been changed in, well, ages, I guess. And I assume that that thing must have kicked a lot of dirt and all that sort of stuff. And hopefully, you know, with the new filter, you know, all fresh, no resistance from any like scum and stuff, it should flow a lot more better. So let's do that now, you know. After I do that, I need to crank the engine a bit, I think, and then, you know, get it all circulated up to the fuel filter, and then hopefully send it to the carburetor itself. Now let's see. Looks like we will need a Phillip head, I believe, like one, like size 6, I believe, or 7. See if I can reach. Hopefully I can. It's a 6. You know what? I'll just use a flat head. Interesting, that looks like pinched, not gonna lie, man. Wow, that is really pinched. Damn, right on time. Right on time to change the thing. Pull this out, and there we go. My, look at this filter. Look at it. Absolutely insane. It's so dark. What about the inside? Actually, never mind. I'm gonna just throw it away, bro. Nasty. Brand new filter. Nice and white. Oh, clean. This part right here is not like melted, so that's pretty cool. Okay, let's see how do we install this. I believe up here, clicked, and the hose down below. By the way, this is kind of insane, you know, me fixing my own cars. You know, actually maintenance. Actually, you know, I'm trying to maintain my car. Maintenance, you know, it's very good. There we go. All clicked in. There we go. Now I'm gonna crank the engine, get all the fuel up into the fuel filter, and hopefully it should start. Let's see. Well, looks like everything just started up somehow. Let's try that again one more time. Okay. Right, oil change. Here we go. Man, it is really wet down here. My God. Oil pan is dented, but I really don't have any money left to, you know, afford any more stuff in here. Oh my God, why is it so tight? Hold on a second. There we go. Looks pretty okay, I guess. I don't know, man. A little dark. Should be fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it drain out. Pretty brown, but not too horrible, I would say. Oh yeah, these guys are really tight. Yeah. There we go. No loose bolts. You know what? These are kind of tough to get to. Not gonna lie. Some of these really kind of tough. Yeah, the rest I gotta use a small one. Alright, I'm gonna do this off camera, man. Kind of hard. Do I really have to drop the exhaust? I really don't have time for that. If not, oh well, let me just go. Oh my God, man, this is such a pain in the ass. Okay, so I do need to drop the exhaust, which means doubling the time and a lot of work. But I need to get this thing done like really, really quick. Okay, wow, that is really in there. I believe if I just pull this down, yep, there we go. Oh my, yes, finally. So here's the old pan. I believe, does it have any gasket? Well, what do you know? It does not have. Actually, wait, it does. What kind of gasket is it? Is it the original metal gasket? Never mind, I lied. Okay, so it does not have a gasket, but they use RTV to just seal it up. Okay, fair enough. I will say though, not too bad. The inside, you know, brown, but yeah, nothing major so far, hopefully. Alright, let me just clean up real quick. So what I'm gonna do is use a card. I don't have a scraper, so I'm just gonna use this. Okay. I guess do my best to just scrape off all of these old crusty RTV off from the oil pan itself. Alright, the oil pan is installed. Finally, man, that took me ages. Really, it hurts, man. It absolutely hurts. Alright, time to put on the oil filter. But first I'm gonna pre-lube it. Give it a good old shake. So I'm using 10W40. This is a much thinner, well, I won't say thin, but like not like, you know. But 10W40 is, I would say, a suitable oil for this type of engine, because this engine is like really old. It's from the 70s, 4G13 single cam, 1.3 liter 4-cylinder. So not much, but it is a simple engine though. Very easy to work on, you know, stuff like that. Alright, this goes right here. Hopefully I don't spill. Okay, there we go. There goes the spill. A little bit, not much. Tighten it until I couldn't tighten anymore with my own hands. Good and tight. Okay, there we go. Alright, After that, put back the bolts to I think 19 or 18 volts on the exhaust, and then another 14. Fill up with oil. Very good. And these bolts are hella rusty. Dang. A bit of WD-40. Actually, a little bit of oil should do the trick, hopefully. By the way, look what my dad just bought me. Thanks a lot, Dad. Appreciate it. Although, not the right socket to use it, but... Okay, good. So, time to lower the car down. Add oil. Here we are. And we are at almost max, but should be good enough. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I would say right about there. Should be good. All right, time to change the air filter while I'm here. So I don't want to do things twice or multiple times. So let me do that. It's pretty easy, you know. Just take this one out. And then there's the old filter. Still can use it, but might as well just change it, right? You know. Alright, that should be good. Now start her up and see how will she do. Hopefully everything works, no leaks. If it is, man, I'm taking the cab, I'm taking the grab. Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Again. Uh-oh. We have a little issue here. Yeah, rough start. Don't know why. The oil. Looking okay so far. Don't see any leaks. But yeah, that's the rough start right there. Gotta adjust the valves. With new oil, this time being much more thinner, gotta adjust the valves. You can hear like it's not really that nice. Looks pretty dry to me. Very dry. Wow. Man, been a long time since I see this place dry. Alright, looks good. I want to drive back home now. I'm out of here, man. See you guys in a bit. The next thing I want to do is readjust the valves. Now this engine right here is an old engine. It's from the 70s, around there. It uses old school valve tappets, you know, single cam valve tappets, one of those things. We have to adjust the valve tappets manually. Now let's say if you're on a highway, right? You know, cruising at like 60 kilometers, just cruising, and you want to overtake, and as you step on it, you can hear the valves clattering away, you know, which is annoying. And also it sort of decreases the performance a bit, you know. Whenever if I just step on it, the car just dies, you know, like it just don't want to go. As I step on it, it just bleh. What we're gonna do today is readjust the valves, and hopefully the car will feel a lot more better, a lot more peppy, hopefully. So what I'm gonna do now is remove all the stuff from the top, the intake, the air box, and that one, because I'm gonna need to look at the timing marks on the camshaft pulley, and as well as the valve cover, because that's where you adjust. Should be easy. I mean, it's a couple of screws here and there, and then 3 screws there, and the whole thing should pop right off. And there's one vent tube over there. So let's do that. Great. Dropped it. At least I removed it though. Surprisingly loose. Okay, and now it should come right off. This line Well, I don't even bother taking it off. Don't break anything. It is quite stuck. There we go. Move this out of the way. Don't break anything. That should be it. Gasket is fine, I should say, but yeah, no RTV use in here. That's good. Good sign. So here are the valves. These right here, gonna adjust them. So all I'm gonna do now is turn the wheel to the left side, and then insert a 16 or 18, I believe, and then basically just turn. I'll show you in a bit. Alright, this cover right here I gotta remove. There we go. And now we have a 18 or 16, I believe. Alright, this cover is kind of in the way. Anything I can remove here. Looks like 3 10s and then another one on the side. Alright, that should be enough. This whole thing is dropped. Should have enough space for me to insert. So 19 it is. You see this dot right here? This has to line up to that over there. That dot, that white mark over there. This has to line up there, and therefore put in cylinder number 1 this side at TDC. And then after that, if I take the manual out, so cylinder 1 should be at TDC and adjust as shown. And if I flip it over like this, there we go. So we have to adjust intake number 1, number 2, exhaust number 1, and number 3. And the clearance for them is 9 mil on the intake side and 17 on the exhaust. 19 on the inside through a hole down here, and then I'm gonna plug in my extension through the hole, then another extension right here, or I could just, I don't know, do like this. There we go. A lot of fitment. Now turn. That is cylinder number 1. A little more. At TDC. So 9 mil on the intake, 17 on the exhaust side. That is this one and this one. Let's check for the clearance. Hopefully not too bad. Okay, yep. Oh man, look at this. This is what's causing all of the valve clatters. Yep, there we go. Wow. Intake is fine. Intake is fine, but exhaust, man. Oh my god. This is what's causing all of the noise and the poor performance. No wonder. And I have a feeler gauge right here, which I borrowed. I'm gonna take number 9 and see if it's within spec or if it's too loose. So, like so. Slides in very easily. Yep, quite loose. Loose. Not too bad, I would say. This is very loose. Wow, okay. Yep. Loose and loose. Now my feeler gauge doesn't have exact 17 right here, so I'm gonna combine 10 and a 7. And it is really loose. Like I can just fit in. Like no resistance at all. Loose, really loose. Yep. Loose, very loose. So here is the procedure. I take a 12 mil, any sort of wrench that can fit in, and a flat head, big one like this. What I'm going to do is loosen up all of them. I think these are quite tough to get through. There we go, just like that. Loosen this one as well, like so. I want to loosen all of them that way. Oh my god, this thing is tough. Ouch. There we go. Okay, so let's start off with the intake side and then slowly work. Actually, I'm gonna show one demo at a time. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, like, really. So, exhaust first. I put the 17 here, like so. And I take this, hold it, and turn slowly. Never mind. Yeah, these guys are kind of seized too, you know. It's been a long time. Probably never been adjusted before, so. Oh well. May need to crack some of these open. They are in there quite seized. Dang. Turn them until you feel a bit of resistance on the feeler gauge, not on this one, but rather on the feeler gauge. Not too tight and not too loose. And right now it is quite tight. So loosen that back up. Go back just a little bit forward, maybe, and feel. Try it again. Basically, just repeating the whole step. Same step on the intake as well. It's all the same. A little close, a little bit more. Yep, there we go. That should be it. Now hold with my screwdriver, and then I turn this on. Not too tight, no need to be tight. Actually, never mind. Screw that, should be tight. And just like that, that's how you adjust the valve tappets on these. Now let me show you the difference between this and this. So this is the adjusted one. I don't know guys if you can tell, but a lot less clatter. This one, and if you compare to this, so this is after, and this is before. As you can tell, a lot more movements. This one nice and tight. Not too tight, not too loose. And this one, very loose. Yeah. So it's the whole same process throughout the whole thing. But as for cylinder number 2, or intake number 3, 3 and 4, I'm gonna have to rotate this side facing opposite of the cam pulleys. Other than that, the whole process is the same thing, and it's very time consuming. This whole thing takes time. And with that, I'm just gonna do it off camera, because why not? You know, just save some time and everything. Okay, after about an hour or so of adjusting valves here and there, it's finally done. So, let me show you the difference now. So while I was adjusting, some of them are quite loose, especially on the exhaust side. Quite loose, really, really loose. I mean, it would make sense because, you know, exhaust side, pretty hot, you know. And here it is now. So right now, cylinder number 4, no, cylinder number 2, 2, 3 is at TDC. And here are the results. Nice and tight. Do note that this is the exhaust side, so this side gets really hot, and if you know oil, when it gets hot, it thickens, so it would make sense. And the intake side, Pretty minimal right there. A little bit too tight on this one, but should be fine. Now what I'm gonna do now is just put everything back together. Before I start it up, I want to clean up the EGR valve first, because I am very sure that thing has not been cleaned ever since then. And yeah, and also I'm gonna take this thing out for a drive a bit and see how it performs. And with valves, as they get hot, they sort of change their tolerances a bit here and there, and then maybe I'll have to recheck it again once it's cooled down completely. Hopefully not, because that is quite a big job, you know. It's been here like since an hour and I am soaked really. So yeah, put it back in, everything else, clean the EGR, and we'll see if there's any performance gains. Oh, and also let's see if it makes a lot of noise during startup. I think it should be normal during startup. It's that later when we're gonna take it out for a drive, we're gonna notice if there's any noise. Okay, so the EGR, it lives together with the intake manifold, and it sits right here. Now, for those who don't know what an EGR valve is, I'm gonna just explain in a very simple term. It's basically a valve that forces the engine to suck its own fart. That's it. And you know, just to improve like emissions, efficiency, and power, and so far and so forth, like that. And over time, it gets gunged up by a lot of exhaust gases, and over time it would lose performance. You know, the car would eat up a lot of gas. Just not good for the performance. And now I want to take it off to see if it's dirty or not. You know, I just clean up a bit with some brake cleaner and maybe brush it off a bit, and then after that I'll just put it back in. 212 mil. Should be in there quite tight, I believe. Nope, it is not. There we go. Break them loose. Oh, oh wow, look at that. Quite some carbon buildup, but not too bad, I think. Here's the valve on the inside. Not too shabby. It's alright, I guess. I mean, a bit of Italian tune-up should be fine. Now I want to test if this is actually working. So this is what I do. If the EGR is faulty, then I'm going to change it. Or I could just block it off, but I think I'm just going to change it. Now, one way to test this thing, if it's working, is you press it in, and then you put your finger here and see if it holds. Which it does. Which is very good. That means I can reuse this. And this is the gasket, metal gasket. Very good one, metal gasket, unlike, you know, paper and stuff. Plus this is an EGR valve. This place gets really hot in there, so I'm gonna reuse it. Just clean up a bit. I'll clean up this side as well. Oh my god, yep, it is quite some, that's some carbon buildup right there. Yeah, I'm just gonna clean up, you know, spray some brake cleaner there and here as well, and then blow it out with compressed air. Ugh, quite cake in there, god damn. Alright, I'm gonna need a screwdriver with this. Cleaning nice and good. Okay, so while I was at the shop, my manager told me that the car is running quite rich, and you can smell the gas coming out from the exhaust. Now, I haven't checked the spark plugs, don't know if it's running rich. If it is, the tip of the plug, spark plug, it's going to be dark. What I'm going to do now is check one of the spark plugs and see if this thing is running rich. If it is, then I'm going to need to readjust the carburetor. I mean, it's not, I won't call it hard, but hopefully it's not too rich. If it's not that bad, then I can just readjust this a bit and it should be okay. Loose somehow. Looks good, not rich at all. A little bit of carbon here and there, but yeah, it looks fine. I can see it. Looks pretty fine to me, I think. Nice wear on the spark plug, not dark, especially this side. This place right here. Looks good. Okay, so I've done readjust the valves, clean the EGR valve, and check all the spark plugs, see if it's running rich, which is not, thankfully. Now, the last thing that I'm gonna need to do is start it up and see if it's gonna blow up or not. So, here we go. Hopefully this thing works. Oh, and also, after changing the oil, right, to 10W40, which is thinner. There goes the low idle. Oh, and by the way, you have to adjust the valve when it's cold. All I'm gonna do is just slowly let it warm up, and then I'm gonna take it out for a test drive and see if there's any difference. Don't hear any valve tick, no. Don't hear any clatter just yet. Overall, pretty good. Pretty good. The power steering, if you can tell, making quite a bit of noise. I'm gonna need to do some flushing on that thing. You know, originally I thought it was the water pump that's making the noise. If it is, then my god, it's gonna be one hell of a job. But thankfully it isn't. Upon checking the service history, the timing side includes the water pump was done quite recently too. So now I know, and that means it's the power steering pump. Now sometimes it does make noise, and sometimes it doesn't during cold start or whatever.